Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the O.V.G.C podcast. I am your host, Soul Zane, and then with me is SD Convoy, Jeff, as usual, and Willow, Matt Chan. How are you guys today?
Not too
Good. How
bad.
are you?
Good. We're all doing good. I am over a cold and I'm feeling so much better. So I'm really excited for today. And then I think out of everybody so far, I'm the only one who's finished Cubivore. I just beat it yesterday. Actually, I think it only took me like 6 hours according to the memory card time frame. So
Not too bad. Not too bad.
yeah, actually, it was a lot. It was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought this one was actually once I understood it, which unfortunately took till like the end of the game. I actually felt like I was having fun with it by then because there was a lot of times where it's really frustrating in some ways. But it's designed to be frustrating with certain things that you have to kind of learn how to maneuver and move around with. Um, so Season's got this one. He picked this. He actually owns the game, which was pretty cool to see in the collector's corner after we got it. I'm surprised he hasn't finished it yet since he owns it. And
Boo.
he started it first. Um, but that's okay. We still have lots of time to finish it. You got a few more days before the end of the month, but
Yeah.
um, before I talk too much about it, because I have beaten it and I will discuss the end of the game too. I want to hear what
Spoilers.
I want to hear what you guys have to say before I get into it. If you want to kick it off, Matt Chan, I think you've played the
Sure.
least, so I'd like to hear
Yeah.
what you think.
I played it for a couple minutes, and the best way I describe it as like a tech demo for someone that's like getting like their degree in like game making.
Okay.
I can't even really say game design because it was like a trip.
Hmm.
It was very strange. Like everything felt kind of like rough. And then like there was a lot of text in the beginning. Like there was a lot of me just like being like, okay, yeah, I don't need to read everything here, but it was a game.
Sorry, I missed the last thing you said because my kids started talking to me.
Oh well, I said it was a game.
It was a
It is
game.
a game
It
by
is.
the definition.
I liked
It
what
is a game.
I liked your your insight on the it looks like a tech demo thing because yeah, it's basically like a tech demo the whole time. It's like somebody was like so this game was originally supposed to be designed for the N64 and it came out really late in the cycle and it ended up just being moved to the GameCube. I believe that's the story. And you can tell that it was like somebody was like making games in 3D. What if they're just cubes? And that's the whole concept, you know. But then I feel like as they developed it, they were like, oh, but even though these parts of the cube are actually like two-dimensional flaps or whatever, it still has to be rendered in 3D. So while it's not actually like all just cubes, for like a cube with flaps. It's still a all cube based game in its design concept to make things look like animals and you just integrate other cube parts onto your cube as you play.
The cube.
It does kind of get away with this whole like what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. It does kind of get away with this whole animal motif that it tries to go for, but it doesn't feel like it until like late game. That's kind of how I felt about it. It wasn't until like your cube had like 3 or 4 pieces is when now I'm just like, oh yeah, I am a weird animal thing. What did you think? What did you think then, Jeff? Since you've put more time into it than Matt did.
Um, now that I put like a little bit more time than just the beginning level, I could definitely. I had a very low opinion of it for starters, kind of same as Matchan. But as I went along and kind of was like, okay, I'm mutating more. I'm getting the other pieces of raw meat. I can reproduce. Okay, my offspring moves forward. I'm starting to get a glimpse as to what they're trying to accomplish with the whole game, the gameplay loop thing. Uh, it's definitely unique. But I think it being a N64 game at its heart, uh, shows in a lot of ways. I mean, just visually, I mean, muddy textures all over the place. Uh, the controls were kind of wonky, even with the C stick. It's not a smooth analog movement. You have to keep tapping it to rotate the camera. That's obviously a holdover from, I'm guessing, the C buttons on an N64
I was
controller.
thinking the exact same thing as soon as you were bringing it up.
I'm like, that it doesn't feel good. So it's like, it's cool what they did accomplish. The art style, it's purposely lo-fi. It's purposely, low poly. So I can forgive that part of it. But it's not a great looking game. And it's not a great controlling game. I think it being on the GameCube does help with it being, at a higher frame rate. I'm sure this would have run a lot worse on N64 hardware. So at least the game performs okay. That's a plus. I didn't mind the soundtrack that I've heard so far. I like how a lot of it is acoustic instruments.
Yeah,
I'm coming
absolutely.
on that one.
Yeah.
The piano comes in a lot of times. There was one part where it was just like a repeating kind of guitar riff going on. So that was cool to see. I didn't get super duper far. What Zane? Did you see any like huge difficulty spikes when you were playing?
Yes, actually. So, there, before you start getting the rage meat, which is the bright colors that you see in the video playing, and or have what was the other cross Cubivore thing? Clash colors. Before you started doing that, and if you had a Cubivore color set that was pale, you would have almost no stats, and you would just get
Okay.
totally rocked by any of the boss monsters if you weren't properly eating the right colors. And the
So it's
first,
just getting the. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, the first real gateway fight was in the pig, or sorry, not the pig, the bear section, where you have to fight a 3-piece one before you go to the 4-piece one. I think. No. There's a spot where it's kind of like where it caves into the center, and there's an oasis in the middle. The boss there has 2 cohorts that follow around him, and if you are not a dark meat colored Cubivore, you will they'll just decimate you. They'll hit you for like half your HP in one jump. It's hard. And then you gotta like nick them off if you didn't get the right Cubivore colorations. So, and if you aren't familiar with some of the other cube mutations, you don't know which ones are doing higher attack or which ones have a better like reach for a jump or which ones are just kind of useless ish, because there are some useless ones. There are literally ones that walk backwards, and you have to use the reverse back away function to turn yourself around and then run the other way, and then you got to like turn it to aim it. So yeah, but if you were playing smart and you were paying attention to the stats like you see on that screen right there, if you were paying attention to those stats, you would have an advantage. But if you didn't and you just ate everything willy-nilly, you will see an intense spike in difficulty when you go through the bear part.
Okay. I mean, I kind of hit a wall even in the pig, but I was probably just getting impatient. What I was going to ask really quick was, would it be a matter of just if I'm the red mutation that gives me a heightened attack, I should be able to beat the boss, or is it like, no, you've got to eat and mutate multiple times? Do the mutation bonuses stack or something to make it worthwhile to eat a whole bunch of people?
No, but the mutations are needed to get to the end game. So you need 100 unique mutations in order to fight the actual final boss of the game.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to pick a good mutation that you like and then just stick with it, and you can get through stuff. However, the point isn't just to beat the cycle, like play through as the pig, play through as the bear, play through as the chick. That's not the point. The point is to get as many different mutations as possible, so that way you can actually finish the game.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, because when you get your 100th mutation, it instantly teleports you to the end game content, where it turns you into your highest level, your strongest Cubivore form. And when you become your strongest form, then you can actually fight the end bosses. So the end stuff, if we talk about it briefly, the end boss fights it's 2 different fights, but they're multi-monster fights. The first one is you fight every single boss in the game at once. And then the second fight is you fight the max level of Rage Beasts. So there's the 4 main Rage Beast colors, and then the Black Rage Beast color. I believe he's black or something. There's 5 of them you have to fight. And they each have unique abilities too. One of them, the blue one, can attack you from a distance. Like his head gets really big and he's like like shoots at you like somehow, like is sound wave damage. I don't know, it's weird. But yes, I guess that was kind of all I had to say about that segment. It's not super duper hard if you take your time, and if you learn how to block. Okay. If you learn how to block, it will save you immensely as you play.
That's probably what I was missing the most of.
And you do have to take advantage of pooping later on, which every time you push the Z button, you poop out the last color to the left of your character thing, and that way you can control the different colors that you have on your Cubivore. So that way you can rank him up however you want. So
interesting.
And then there's another skill called Diet Plan, which I could not figure out how to make work properly. You're supposed to hold down X and then push down on the joystick to make him only choose one piece of meat, but like you don't get to choose which color meat it is. I'm not sure. I understand it exactly, so.
Okay.
But I beat it without having to use it essentially. Did you have anything else to say about Cubivore? Because I kind of went on a tangent there.
No, I was curious if you had any other like big sticking points that you noticed. That was basically the big note, like the big main points I had thought of.
Oh, okay. You can kind of cheese your evolutions too, or your mutations too. So if you look at the bottom segment of this one here, those gray spots are ones that he didn't get, and you can click it and just acquire it without actually having to turn into it prior to it, and then it adds it to your total list of mutations earned. So you can get a whole bunch doing it that way if you wanted to, but it takes longer. It takes longer than to actually like go and do the hunts and actually find the different things to mutate into. I do want to touch back on the music a bit, because I like the instrumental music to it, and it even is like the ringing sound from like wine glasses in it, which is totally cool. I really enjoyed some of it. It was very simple, but I think there was only like 4 soundtrack songs until the final boss fight, which is like some guitar riff stuff.
I thought it was actually kind of obnoxious.
A little bit. It can be a little bit.
It felt like in my opinion of it, it did feel very well composed. It actually sounded more of like something like Fruity Loops. It's like, yeah, we opened up Fruity Loops and we used the basic instruments and we made something.
Was it just kind of like overbearing some of it, or
a little bit, especially like when you got like the mutation or whatever the end of the stage one was with the piano portion, or just like the ringing,
or whenever you would eat a boss, it would play the horns.
Everything was very flat in my opinion. There was like no actual like layering. It was just like, all right, that's why I kind of go back saying it's like a tech demo.
There's no drums in any of it.
Yeah, everything I think was just one layer. I don't know if there was, like, 'cause I didn't get very far.
I wonder if that's an N64 holdover.
that's like I would feel like I would have given this game better like rating if it was on the 64. Because
Oh,
then it's
right.
like kind of pushing more of what the 64 could do. And it's like, okay, that's cool.
mm-hmm.
Or like the simple layering of music. It's like, yeah, you only have this 64-bit processor, so you can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on the GameCube, it was like group of people got a GameCube dev kit and we're like, all right, none of us can model, none of us are musicians, and we got a
I
couple programmers.
I think this game would have been improved if it was like a roguelite. Um, I think it could have had like randomized worlds with different enemy layouts and stuff. Like just at random would have made it way more entertaining to me than to be like, okay, I go over here, I eat these clash beasts, I get these colors, this is what I turn into. Okay, now I'm the strongest to do this. I just got to go to this next area. But really the main objective is to just turn into as many different mutations as possible. So when it's just that, the rest of the game is just kind of like, oh, this is what I should have been focusing on. Now I've got to play through every single stage twice just to get more mutations. Like, I didn't really want to. When you beat it though, when you beat each stage once the first time and you replay it, it does add new enemies to both of the pig and bear stages. Also, it adds like secret areas to go hunt different rage beasts. So it does give you a little bit of replay value, which was nice. So I was shocked to say the least about that because I thought I would have to keep playing the chick portion over and over again just to get the clash beast colors. So yeah, so that's Cubivore. I'm curious if anybody else beats it or if anybody goes for the 150 mutations. What happens when you do 150 mutations? I don't know. I didn't look it up online, so I don't know if there's like a secret anything. But I do know that when you get 150 mutations, you cannot replay the pig, bear, and chick sections of the game. You can only do the boss rush at the end. So there's no reason to get 150 that I'm aware of. Besides just being able to do a boss rush with your strongest Cubivore. So,
All right, are we gonna let's vote, guys? Do we think it's worth the resale price for the gameplay?
No.
Absolutely not. Oh my gosh.
No.
Was this a late GameCube release or?
It was not. I think it was like a mid GameCube release. I think this game just got a release because it got a release. I don't think there was any real like reason to it. They were like, hey, we have a game, let's sell it. I'd be curious to find out. I didn't look it up.
That's kind of, yeah, because it seems like a game that got just popular because of like, what is this?
Yeah, this isn't a launch title for the GameCube in Japan, is it? I would
Talk about how not to sell a system.
considering it was a holdover for the N64. I would be shocked if they waited super long after the GameCube came out.
February 21st, 2002, it says.
No, so a year after.
So that's like, yeah, that's,
Almost a year.
I don't know, they kind of just dropped the rating down a little bit.
Yeah, it's even
They got
worse.
everything else that came out with it a year later, and they're like, all right, here's this.
Yeah.
You know, like that part in like Ant-Man, it's like, it's so ugly. I love it.
Yeah.
That's this game's value.
Shoot. Well, since we're done with that, let's jump into another GameCube game then here. So let's talk a little bit about Chibi Robo here. Let me close
The
this.
next expensive GameCube
The
game.
next most expensive GameCube game, Chibi Robo. I was watching some video of it. So I've never played Chibi Robo, but I know it's like a game where you just collect garbage and items and stuff to advance. It's a relatively decent platformer. I was not expecting, though, when I started watching the video for this, that every time Chibi Robo walks, his steps all make music, like noise. So the game has no soundtrack, I think. I think it had a light soundtrack underneath it. But if I unmute it, you'd be able to hear it. I'm not going to unmute it just in case it's too loud for other people. But you want me to unmute it?
It's fine.
I don't know if I think the audio is off on the video.
No.
So that's his footsteps there.
Yes.
No.
All right, it's cute because of all the sound effects, but I'm wondering how obnoxious that's gonna get real
It
quick.
changes based on the ground he's on. So it
Okay, that's
does
pretty
make it
cute.
different. It's super stinking cute, and I kind of wish I played this when I was a kid. I'm excited to try it if this is our game of the month. I'm down with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Speaking of things to get down with, Mega Man X on the list again.
Heck yeah.
It hasn't gotten picked yet. This is the second or third time it's been on. At
What
least,
is our challenge
so.
gonna be to get the Hadouken?
yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Our challenge will be to get the Hadouken. Chibi Robo, you have to
Computers, if you can
100%.
kill a boss.
Yeah, you have to specifically kill Yellow Devil with the Hadouken.
Worth
yeah,
it.
Mega Man X. I don't know if you've already played through it. There are modded versions of Mega Man X out there. I was watching this one up here on the list that says Mega Man X Corrupted, which kind of looked pretty cool. It wasn't even Mega Man X. It was just its own game with Mega Man X sprites, but we'll see.
I think this is like
Am
the
I-
only Mega Man that I've actually beaten.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have not beaten this one yet, so
I feel like this is one of the cheaper Mega Man games as well. It sold a lot when it came out.
it's
It was
easy
like
to
bundled,
find.
wasn't it, for a little bit?
I don't know about that, but there's a lot of copies out there.
Yeah, you can. Sorry, you can get it on the Mega Man collection too, or the Mega Man X collection too. So
I was actually surprised that there was an X2, and I had never heard about that.
$30 for SNES. Sprout says.
That's not too bad, all things considered.
No.
Now look at the price for X2.
Yeah, or X3.
Yeah. Or Mega
There's
Man,
a third one.
or Mega Man 7.
I'll go grab my cart.
Speaking about grabbing carts, though, Sonic and Knuckles,
Ooh,
Sonic
dang.
3 and Knuckles, so you have to have 2 carts to play.
Dude,
Got
the
'em.
best part about that was just seeing what you could get to work.
with the attachment bit.
Yeah.
What
Have you
can
seen
I?
the meme where someone had like 50 of them and like stacked them and was holding it up and it was still playing?
I would just be like, what game can I put Knuckles in now? Road Rash.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage and Knuckles.
Oh shoot. What? So the Knuckles attachment just adds Knuckles as a playable character, right? It doesn't actually change anything about Mega Man Sonic 3.
It's the
like a
second
whole
half of
game.
Sonic 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it is really okay.
Yep. Yep. The full game is technically the lock on.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep.
You can play through with a Tails second controller, right? And he just lives forever, can't he? Doesn't he?
Yep.
in the
It'll
second
be
one.
like computer controlled unless you've got another controller plugged in.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it's
An
not
Atari controller does fit inside the Sega. My brother and I discovered that as kids.
a what controller?
One of the Atari controllers, the like the dongle one.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Does it work?
I don't remember. I think it did a little bit, but you couldn't really do much because you had one button.
Okay, so not enough buttons for it. As long as the D-pad works.
I wonder if this ghost stage is where they got the ghost stuff from for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
A ghost?
The ghosts. What a fun
Man.
game that was. Speaking of fun games, Ocarina of Time though.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm actually kind of excited this one's on the list. I love Ocarina of Time. It'd be fun to revisit this. I've played through this game a billion times growing up, so
Yeah, it's been many years since I've played this. Actually, since the DS one, the 3DS one
yeah.
came out.
I feel like that's not even like old either. Like I feel like that's still recent. But it plays
Yeah.
just like the N64 version. If you want to play the N64 version, you can. But the 3DS version, if you have it, literally the same game, just a different skin. So
Pretty.
yeah, pretty easier item controls. So you don't have to swap the boots as so much in the Water Temple and the Shadow Temple stuff. You know, you can just tap a button. So yeah, if this
I'm gonna
gets
do this
picked,
on my deck.
what's that?
Probably gonna play this one on my deck.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Might as well. I mean, whatever works for you, man. I might just play
I got
through
the-
it.
Copy of it.
What's that?
Oh, go ahead.
You, Joe.
I'll have an inbox copy of it. So
Oh,
Nice.
nice. I bought
Yep,
a
I popped in my copy in my original system and just plugged into my CRT for a little bit. Nostalgia hit me, so I'm like, "Ooh, if this one gets picked, I'll be happy."
Here I am. I'm here. Speaking of
This was your
nostalgia,
pick, wasn't it?
what's that?
Boom.
Wasn't that your pick, Jeff?
Nope, this one is.
This one is Donkey
Oh.
Kong 94. Have you ever played this before, Matt?
No.
So it's a continuation of the Donkey Kong arcade game with an actual story
Nice.
and different stages and other stuff that you can play through. Um,
It's for the
I'm-
Super Game Boy, or they're just playing it on the Super
they're
Game
playing
Boy?
it on the Super Game Boy, but you
Okay.
can play it
Yep.
on the OG. It's designed for the OG Game Boy, but if you play it on the Game Boy Color, it has different colors and stuff in it too.
I've been wanting to
I
use
think
my
the Super
pocket.
Game Boy is probably the ideal way to play this. You get
I-
the cool like arcade cabinet background.
Yeah, it looks really neat, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Pauline has goggles for some reason.
This is also kind of the predecessor to the Mario versus Donkey Kong kind of style of games, if you've played those.
Oh yeah, or like March of the Minis and stuff. I forgot about those.
I'm specifically thinking of the first one where it's got more of the acrobatic moves. You can hold down and do your jump to do your handstand, super jump up to different platforms. You can throw the hammer up above you.
Hmm.
So, a lot better controls than obviously the arcade original.
So you just get to play as Wario as like a skin or something?
That's supposed to be Mario.
That is Mario.
It looks
yeah.
like Wario.
And he just did a handstand jump thing.
Yep. Yeah, you can get through levels pretty quick if you know what you're doing.
Huh, interesting. I mean, it's fun. I played it when I was a kid. It's been a long time. I'd be down to play this again. But you know what else I'd be down to play again?
Yes.
A Link to the
Aw,
Past.
man.
I would probably like to challenge myself on this one without getting any of the heart containers or something. Just to have like a extra bit of challenge for this one. Just because I've played it enough that I'm relatively familiar. But at this point, it's been so long. This Zelda probably takes me the longest to get through out of the popular ones.
I could beat it in 5 minutes.
What? Do you have a save right at the end, or are you just
Nope.
talking
There's a
about
glitch.
glitch?
Oh, nice.
Well, the glitch doesn't count. You show me
Hey,
that
if he gets a
credit
screenshot of roll, I was gonna say roll
Yeah.
credits and you're good.
Yeah, I know, but after, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'll just assume Matt cheated.
I have beaten the game legitimately.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. You scared me for a second. 2 Zelda
I've only
games
beaten
on our
Link to the
list.
Past
Of...
by cheating.
Okay, well, that's the only way you'll ever finish any game on this on any of our challenges so far, except for Snowboard
Oh
Kids.
no, you found out my deep dark secret.
Yeah, the only game you know how to beat legit is Snowboard Kids.
And I did.
Yeah, so I don't know. There isn't much to say about A Link to the Past. There's a lot of different ways to play it.
I don't know if I've beat it on
That's
original
probably-
hardware, but I've beaten the Game Boy Advance version of it.
That's probably the version I'll play.
Yeah.
It's good.
You know what else is good though? Super Smash Brothers.
There we
Heck
go.
yeah.
I was waiting for the segue.
Like, what? I never had an idea of what we would do when it came to fighting games being picked, but like there is a level of like classic mode for certain games can be completed, or like world tour mode or whatever you call it, depending on the game. And Super Smash Brothers you can play through classic with every single character, but the goalposts we're gonna just make up on our own, and that is to unlock the 4 secret characters, beat Master Hand and Crazy Hand, and complete at least a run through of classic. Which you have to complete classic in order to unlock characters. So so I didn't really want to like complete it as like you beat classic, which takes 10 minutes to do. It's better to just be like you unlock the 4 characters and you kill Crazy Hand, which you can't.
I don't
You can't.
I don't think Crazy Hand's in the original Smash Brothers.
Wait, he's not? I thought he was.
Yeah, I thought it was only Master Hand.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. Melee is the one where
That's
Crazy
Melee.
Hand comes in. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So unlock the 4 characters, and we'll call you
Hidden
over
Mario
there.
stage too.
Oh, and the extra Mario stage.
Yep,
There's an extra Mario stage.
So the
there is
unlocks.
the classic Mario stage.
Oh
I would
dang!
I would say your challenge would be to do it's like a what is it? There's like a events. Is there an events one on this one or no? I
Not
don't
for the
think
original.
so. I didn't
The
think so.
target.
There's just the targets and then the fighting wireframes stuff, I believe.
You have to beat one player game mode with each original characters and playing on each stage in versus mode to get the Mario stage. So that's not difficult.
Oh, okay. So each stage
Just
in
make that
versus
the in general challenge. Just get all the secrets.
I'll just yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I wouldn't. Yeah, general challenge would be get all the secrets. Sure, I'm okay with. I think that's a pretty good challenge. It gives you enough time with the game. Also, like I have 2 little kids here, I can play the introduced to Smash Brothers, so this will be a good one.
True.
Oh no!
Speaking of good things, Final Fantasy Mystic
Oh.
Quest. um, Japan's answer to Americans not understanding what the hell an RPG is. Get into a random battle, do exactly what the game tells you. That's how you win.
We
Final Fantasy Mystic
we
Quest.
don't use numbers. We use meters for our HP, so you actually understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So make it more confusing.
Mm-hmm. The that bull has his tongue sticking out. Oh,
I
but
love
then,
how the enemies change their appearance based on like how damaged they are.
yes, I was gonna say that.
That's one of the cool things.
I love
And the
that too.
soundtrack to this one's actually really good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's
for this
basic
one.
though. Aside, I would say like gameplay wise, it's not super complicated. So if you aren't a JRPG person, this is a very easy playthrough.
They
Like
based
good.
this game design on the Saga games.
It's good for our small American brains
Yes.
Yes.
to comprehend
There's a
RPGs.
sequel to Mystic Quest, and then I think there's like a mid-tier Mystic Quest they made for the Game Boy. I'm not sure.
I didn't know this was actually a Final Fantasy game because all I ever saw was just Mystic Quest
It isn't really a Final Fantasy game. It's just got some Final Fantasy aspects to it.
RPG.
Yep.
I think it uses
But it's
crystal terminology and then different Final Fantasy monsters as well. So
But I don't think many of like the real like I don't know if there's any chocobos or anything like that in this game.
Chocobos didn't come until Final Fantasy V.
Okay, so this is probably before that anyways.
Yeah, they really held on to the crystal theming for a long time for Final Fantasy. So like anything that had crystals was your Final Fantasy stuff.
Okay, well this game does have that.
Yeah, this was just their way to just kind of be like, oh, by the way, our popular Final Fantasy series has a sequel series to it too, you know. So, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I own this, but I haven't played it yet. So, I'm
cool.
I played it a little bit at your house a long time ago, Jeff. That was it.
Okay.
Anyways, no segue for this one.
Is the
Nothing to fight about.
SNK.
Is the pocket color version of this one the one that's actually suggested?
Well, when I typed in SNK versus Capcom, the match of the Millennium, this is what showed up.
Okay.
So I'm assuming
There's also Millennium Fight 2000, which would be the PlayStation version, but I guess yeah, no, this is the match of the Millennium is the Neo Geo one, isn't it?
yeah, this is
I
the
remember
one.
wanting a Neo Geo Pocket Color so bad, but I couldn't get it because I couldn't afford a game, so my mom wouldn't let me buy it.
I'm curious how this one will go if this gets picked, because I don't know. I think there's a story mode that you can finish and get through, but I don't know what it's gonna be like to play this. I'm not huge into 2D fighters, so I'm down to do it, but I like cheesing fights, man.
It's
The
still
chibi
winning.
character designs are pretty cool.
They're not bad. Some of them look really similar though. But
Very limited color palettes on the Neo Geo Pocket there.
But it's the Pocket Color.
the characters are all red, white, and black. The backgrounds
Every single one.
the backgrounds are where all the color is.
I'm gonna have to go out and buy a Neo Geo Pocket Color
Yeah.
if this one gets picked.
That's the only way
Dang
to
it.
play it. I
Oh,
don't
man.
know any other way to play it. We'll never be able to play this any other way. Oh,
Did the
man.
Analog Pocket get a color adapter?
Did
I
it?
don't think it
I
got
don't
an
think it did.
adapter, but you could just FPGA it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We'll have to do it some other way. So that was a quick through of everything we had. I didn't have a ton to talk about with Cubivore today, which is, I mean,
It was a game.
It was a game. I felt like it was really easy to cover because there just wasn't a ton to talk about. But
Right.
but hey, if you guys haven't played it and somebody's looking to do it, I can help you. I can help you with figuring out how to play it. It's definitely worth trying if you haven't ever played it before. It's a weird game for the GameCube. You might as well be like, "Hey, did you ever hear? You could use it in casual conversation at a party. Did you ever hear of a game called Cubivore?"
I've heard of him.
Wild.
And that's when I leave that party.
And then nobody talks to you.
Fun fact, the Analog Pocket does have a Neo Geo Pocket Color cartridge adapter.
Oh,
Nice. I
sweet.
think it's part of the $100 3-pack though, isn't it?
Yeah, then it's $30 to ship it.
Wow.
Oh man,
That's not fun.
Yeah.
How much is the? Did they even release that game in the States?
It was in English. I didn't find a Japanese, unless that was a Japanese only version. Oh
That
no,
said
that was
JP on
JP.
it.
Yeah. Good question. There may not be an English version.
Oof, $90.
Oh damn.
There it is.
It's Neo Geo.
All right.
So you're going
So
to
I need
play
the
your
$130 adapter,
games.
$90 game.
There you go. That's called an investment.
That's what's gonna get picked, isn't it?
All right, you guys are ready?
Spin the wheel.
Spin that
Spin the
wheel.
wheel.
Here we go. Oh, damn.
Oh,
All right.
there it is.
Super Smash Bros.
It's time.
It is
Smash.
time. It's time. It's time to smash.
It is definitely time to smash.
All right. Well, cool. Awesome. So Super Smash Bros. This will be an easy one to complete.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'll look into the unlocks, the full unlocks for everything, and see how hard it will be to do. But I'm pretty sure it's simple enough. Unlock the 4 characters. We'll call that complete. Take a screenshot of the 4 characters. Use your phone or whatever. Give a thumbs up in the picture or
I
something.
wonder if I actually have everything unlocked on the cartridge that I have.
If you already have it unlocked, erase it.
Start it over.
Start it over. I don't know if.
Oh man, but that deletes my records though.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I have the heart to do that on my old one. I may have to
Do you
just
have an
play.
EverDrive?
Yeah, I do. So I'll probably just do.
Oh yeah,
that.
there you go.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Super Smash Brothers, baby. Yeah. I'm excited for this. This will be easy. I'm excited to play this with my kids more than I'm excited to just sit down and jam on Super Smash Brothers by myself. Like I want to
Make
fight
sure they
against.
watch the commercial first.
Yeah, the old one. Somebody put that commercial in the chat when I make the game chat for it.
Yes, please. That was a life-changing commercial.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, challenge is unlock all the unlocks, and then beat the game by getting all 4 characters unlocked. So, all right.
Awesome.
See you guys. See you guys in the streets.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.